Good morning. Welcome to this edition of the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. I had no idea that this week's show was going to be as exciting as it is. But you know, starting Monday, starting actually tomorrow, the Democratic National Convention kicks off. And a lot of folks are going to be watching that with interest. This past week, we found out who Joe Biden was going to select as his running mate. So why am I talking about all this? Well, because there is a big event coming up on the 20th of August, among other things. And here to talk about it, two individuals, two perspectives. Dr. Judith Moore is the convener of the Pittsburgh-Mon Valley Black Women's Roundtable, and Jackie Hill is the second vice chair of the Allegheny County Democratic Black Caucus and a member of the Pittsburgh-Mon Valley Black Women's Roundtable. I welcome you both to the show today. And what a week we just finished up. I mean, when we want to talk about Black women in politics, this was quite a week, wasn't it, ladies?
Yes, it is. Yes, it has been.
Yes, it was.
I mean, we're talking history here.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me what went through your heart, what went through your head when you heard that a woman of color was going to be on the Democratic ticket as the vice president candidate.
I tell you, I was on the telephone with my sister Melanie Campbell, and we were talking. All of a sudden, all these texts, all these bing noise, were going out, and they were shouting, say hallelujah. And then I turned on the television to find out that that's what happened. So of course I was elated and excited about just the opportunity we have now to really come together and to move forward. So I'm excited for this time in history for us to have someone to move forward who is qualified in all respects. And like Biden said, she is ready on day one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Jackie, what's the message for Black women, do you think?
That our time has come to be visible and present. We have always been in the background. We are the reason that a lot of things happen, but we have not had the opportunity to take our rightful place in the world and the country. This message, a powerful message, not only to the country, but the world will now see a woman of color in power in the most powerful country in the world. So I think it's a pretty powerful message, along with I think there's 237 women of color running for Congress and Senate. Mm-hmm. I think that number is going to actually go up after this, because against all odds, we were saying, we're getting in there, we're going to do this. And now that we have someone positioned at this level, I can see a lot of people starting to understand that there's a role and a place for them.
Yes.
Indeed. So the time is interesting because you have an event coming up on the 20th of August, and part of the focus is on voting, but I'm guessing it's a lot broader than that.
Yes. Actually, we're going to be talking about and trying to mobilize Census, especially the hard to count. And so there's a lot of efforts going around making sure, because it's important that a fair count of our people is on record. So we want to make sure that is happening for us. But yes, and also we're talking about the power of Black women and the power of their vote, because for so long, when people talk about Black vote, really they were talking about Black women who voted or who are voting. There's a larger percentage of Black women voting than our Black brothers. And so we want to be able to use that power that we know that we have to make sure that we can make sure our agenda is addressed in the future.
Jackie, did you want to jump in there as well?
Yeah, Black women are the motivators in our community. Mm-hmm. We will inspire, we'll cajole, and we'll even threaten if we have to, when it is necessary to get things done in the best interest of our community. and getting family and friends to vote, fill out the census is certainly an important time for us to use that motivation and that
Yes.
influence that we have in our community.
Yes.
And it's interesting to me because this year, 2020, being the year for the census, it's been a complicated year. I mean, we've had the pandemic, you know, we've had the virus, we've had race-related upheaval. I feel like the census, I don't want to say has gotten lost, but it's
Yes.
kind of gotten pushed to the back in terms
Yes.
of the community conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree
And
with
I
you
think,
on that. Go ahead, Jackie.
yeah, but I don't think our community is educated enough on why the census is important, which is one of the reasons that we wanted to have this conversation. I think we now have an attentive listening audience because people have been through a lot.
Mhm.
And our job is to help connect the dots, to educate people so that they know why census and voting is important. Because, you know, by everybody being in the house and having to be in one place, I think people have gotten more information than normally we would. We're all out and busy and doing things, but you've been, you know, kind of stuck. And so but you've also experienced people who don't have enough food, people who don't have enough money, all the things that are related to census and voting, and helping people to connect the dots to understand why those two things are important is an opportunity that we want to take advantage of on August the 20th.
And we have a lot more to talk about this morning on the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show, so don't go away.